Hi, welcome to Pyrography Made Easy. I'm Brenda. In this tutorial episode, I am going to show you how to turn regular reflective glass into matte glass, or non-reflective or anti-glare glass, however you want to call it. Not only will I show you how to do that, and it's super easy to do, I'm also going to tell you some things you need to be aware of. So let's get started. I recommend trying this with glass from a really cheap picture frame. That way, if you don't like it, you haven't wasted very much money. Begin by thoroughly cleaning the glass. Clean both the front and the back of it. I am using a generic brand of Windex glass cleaner for this. Make sure the glass is dry before you continue. I'm covering the bottom half of the glass for future comparison. I will be using Minwax polyacrylic matte finish for this. Start the spray before you reach the glass. Move your hand horizontally at a steady speed across the glass. Stop spraying after you have passed by the glass. Do not start or stop spraying directly on the glass because it tends to create an uneven application of finish. Let the finish dry. I'm using a fan to speed up the process. This was a very heavy layer of finish I applied. Despite that, I think it turned out great. You can really see a big difference. Here is how the glass looks with an image behind it. The glass has been treated to the right of the arrow. I applied the finish to the other half of the glass, but this time I applied a very light layer. I let it dry and then checked the results. It reduced some of the glare, but not like the heavy layer below it did. I applied another really light layer to the glass and let it dry. Comparing the two while looking straight on, I don't see much of a difference. When I angle the glass, the heavy layer reduces the glare a little bit more. That might be the result of it being further from the light source. Here's a close-up of the glass. The top has the two light layers, and the bottom has one heavy layer. Both applications reduce the glare, and both applications are not that noticeable when viewed straight on. The back of my framed artwork is attached with finishing nails, and I didn't want to remove them. So I covered the frame using low-tack artist tape and plain paper. Then I applied a light layer of finish. I used a light layer because it would reduce the risk of the finish pooling or running down the glass. Here's a close-up of the finish. It has a blue tinge when it's wet. I let the finish dry and applied a second light layer. Once that was dry, I removed the tape and paper. Here is the before and after. It turned out great, and now reflected light is not a problem. Be aware that the finish is not permanently adhered to the glass. I can easily scratch it off with my fingernail or a sharp knife. Here's a close-up of the damage. Also, be aware that only the treated side of the glass has a matte finish. The back side or the opposite side is still highly reflective plain glass. Make sure the treated side is facing the viewer. Be aware that the treated glass can reduce the color intensity of the image. As I slide the glass to the left, it is easier to see this difference. If the artwork or image isn't touching the glass, there is a slight loss of crisp detail. The matte finish softens the image a little. Again, as I slide the glass to the left, you can see the difference. Well, that is it for this tutorial. I hope the information was helpful. On my website, Pyrography Made Easy, I have a written version of this tutorial, and I also have a lot of other tutorials available on my website. I will put a link to it in the description below. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.